So Onward Hostel took us into town this morning to a free breakfast that a church hosts. Franklin was such a good town to stop in. They're so supportive of the through hikers who come through. So they should get this by the time this video is posted, because this is like a week out from posting at least. But at the brewery last night I sent Jesse a postcard, and at the church this morning I sent my parents a letter, and they offer that for free, which is really cool. Just makes me miss home a little bit more today. But we're putting in a relatively short day, I think around 11 miles. It's supposed to storm tonight, so we're camping kind of in between two mountains, so the wind won't be as bad, since we won't be up on the peaks at the elevation where the wind will be hitting. We might have to hunker down in the morning and get a late start if it's still raining bad and storming in the morning when we normally start. But also, we kind of got to our rest day at the perfect time, because our last night camping in the woods before we stayed in the hostel, they actually closed a portion of the trail that we're hiking in right now because of a controlled burn. So they only had it closed from 9 to 1 that day, but it was so smoky. You could see the smoke from where we were at. And technically the burn is still happening today. It all should be out by the end of today, but there's no smoke where we're at. And if we do hit any, it shouldn't be bad, and we should get past it. But that's all I got for now, and I'll check in later.
Oh, swinging wick gap. Somebody drew in the D.
So that is called Seiler Bald, and it is almost a 360 view. There's some tree coverage in the way, but it's technically a blue blaze, which means it's not part of the AT, but a trail that branches off of the AT, and it was well worth the climb for the views. It's just beautiful, as you can see. So in case you didn't know, double blazes actually tell you what direction you need to go. So the bottom blaze is just signifying you're on the AT, and then if it's to the right, you take a right turn. If it's blaze and a blaze right on top, it's straight ahead. There's probably a path that goes off to the side or something, and you don't want to take that. And then if it's a blaze and then a blaze up to the left, you take a left turn. Just a little blaze knowledge there. So I just left Waya Bald, headed for Waya Shelter. It's only less than a mile away, but there was a guy who did the AT in 2019, and he just did the PCT last year. His trail name is Pop Rocks, and he was doing trail magic in there all day long. He had breakfast earlier, some sort of lunch. Well, this might have been his lunchtime, but he had hot dogs, and then various snacks, beer, pop. I had a beer, even though I just had one in town the other day. It was good. But really cool guy. Really boost for the day. Today was kind of a downer. It was just cloudy and just a sad day in general. So happy to have a little boost. When I went up on Seiler Bald, John passed Seiler Bald and didn't go up, and I didn't know if I was ahead of him or behind him all day, so I kept a pretty slow pace. He already got to the shelter, and he told me trail magic was coming. He had texted when I turned my data back on. But the day is winding down. We're looking around 11 miles for the day. And I think that's all I got. And I'll throw up a picture of me and Pop Rocks I took inside of the tower where he had his setup. So, good evening, and talk to you tomorrow.